This is my answer to Sophia's question about identity. What is it? I did a video on my regular channel a while back called "You Are the Ship of Theseus," where really quick I'll sum up. Where I did was I used as a metaphor, the old example from ancient Greek philosophy of the ship of Theseus, which is a ship that, after it sets sail on its maiden voyage, every time it comes in for, out into dock, they do maintenance where they replace, some old wooden planks with new wooden planks. And so, I guess the question is it still really the same ship? And then eventually, after so many trips, every single piece of wood that made up the ship has been replaced with a new piece of wood. So there's not a single plank on the whole ship that's original. So is it still the same ship? But the analogy, applies to humans, because we are, both, physically and mentally, our memories and our emotions are constantly changing, losing old ones, gaining new ones. And all the molecules and cells in our body are getting turned over every time we breathe, every time we eat. In fact, statistically speaking, there's a decent chance that at least one atom that makes up your body was once an atom that was part of my body, even if we've never met, just statistically. So obviously the identity, I think, can't be what you are at any given moment, either physically or psychologically, because that changes. And we still, I consider, Sophia, who just made this video that I'm responding to, and the Sophia who, a couple months ago went on hiatus, as the same Sophia. So what is it about her that hasn't changed, or that I consider the same, that I label that identity to? It's not some kind of essence that you would call identity, at least not for me. For me, I see it more as a continuity. In other words, in the way we can trace the course of a river, we can trace how that Sophia got to this Sophia. And it's all kind of a continuous flow. That's my view on it. Now, of course, there's the other kind of identity, which is how we recognize someone. What traits do they have that we label as, as being, say, Sophia's, and that can change. You probably heard, that, such and such a person after emotional trauma X, or after the accident or something, was never the same person again. In other words, something about the implication there is there's something about their identity or essence that is changed. I also use identity, I guess, in those terms, rather than the previous one, I guess, depending on the context. And I would say there, what I mean when I say someone's not the same, or it's not really the same person anymore, is that some of the more defining character traits that I would have associated with that person before have gone missing or been replaced, even though there was, a continuity that got it there. If that makes any sense. Anyway, hope that answers the question. Thanks.